What's up, y'all? In this video, I'll go over how to use the control surface mode on the Dirtywave M8 with the Ableton Move. This allows you to navigate and control the M8 with an external device. Currently, the only supported device is the Launchpad Pro, but someone on the Dirtywave Discord created a way to use the Ableton Move to have the same functionality as the Launchpad. So this lets you use all the unique controls that the Launchpad Pro is able to do, but you can do it from the Ableton Move. To do this, you'll have to install the Move Everything hack, so check out the links in the description if you want to learn more about that. So let's check it out. First, you need to connect the M8 to the Move with a USB cable. You have to use the Move's USB-A port and then connect to the M8 with a USB-C. After that, open the MIDI settings from the project screen and change the control surface from None to Launchpad Pro. And on the Move, hold Shift and press the volume knob, and then press the jog wheel to enter the Overtake Modules screen, and from here, select M8 LPP Emulator. And you know it's working if you see these brackets on the outside of the first 8 rows of the M8 song screen. And the Move should have its pad lit up in a configuration that matches the contents of the rows of the song page. So this integration has 3 modes you can control the M8 with: Sequencer mode, Session mode, and Note mode. Let's start with Sequencer mode. By default, the Move will start in Session mode, so to get to Sequencer mode, press the Capture button. After entering Sequencer mode, your M8 screen will change to the phrase view and will open the first phrase in the chain you have selected. In this mode, the Move's pads are divided into 2 zones. The 16 pads on the left show notes input on the 16 steps of your phrase. The lit up pads have notes on them, and the non-lit up pads have no notes. And the 16 pads on the right show the phrases in the chain. Same as before, the lit up pads are rows in the chain where there are phrases, and the non-lit up pads have no phrases. So as I tap the pads on the right, the M8 moves from phrase to phrase, and the pad of the currently selected phrase will blink slowly to show it's active. If I press play, you'll see a visual representation of the playhead on the pads on the left. A green pad will move across the rows at the same rate it moves down the rows of the M8. By default, when you press play, the entire song will play, but if you just want to have a single phrase loop, you can hold the pad for that phrase on the right and then press play. You can also use this screen to add notes to the sequence by pressing the record button and then pressing any of the 16 pads on the left. So currently it's adding a C1 note, but you can change what note is added by pressing down on the jog wheel to enter note mode. This changes the pads to play the currently selected instrument across a range of notes. And you can move up and down the octaves by pressing the plus and minus buttons. And then pressing the jog wheel again lets you get back to the sequencer view, so you can then add notes to the phrase for the note that you selected. And the currently selected instrument can be changed by holding Shift and then pressing the plus and minus buttons. This takes you to the instrument pool screen, and once you have your instrument selected, you let go of Shift to return to the phrase page. If you want to load a new instrument, you can press the sampler button and then navigate the menus by pressing the plus and minus button and pressing Shift as Enter. And this whole time we've been editing the phrase for the chain on track 1, but you can move between the tracks by pressing the left and right arrow buttons. Next, let's go over Note mode. You can enter this mode by pressing the menu button with the 3 horizontal lines. This will make it so that all the pads can send MIDI notes, similar to Note mode on the sequencer screen, except in this mode, pressing the jog wheel gives you access to a lower range of notes. And some of the controls from sequencer mode are the same in this mode. You can press the plus and minus buttons to move up and down the octaves. And pressing the left and right buttons moves you to different tracks. Accessing the instrument pool is also the same shortcut. You hold Shift and then you press up or down. You can also use this mode to add notes to the sequence, similar to using the rec note channel. You just have to hold the record button and then press the play button. You can also input notes directly into the phrase by moving your M8's cursor to the end column, and then holding the record button and pressing the pad you want to add to the sequence. Another handy shortcut which works on any mode is holding Shift and pressing Undo, which saves a snapshot of the project. And the snapshot is basically saving the project in its current state. And then you can recall the snapshot by pressing the Undo button. So it's a useful tool if you're trying to record in takes. And the final mode is Session Mode, which you can access by pressing the back button below the jog wheel. This mode has a lot of features geared toward live performance and making real-time changes to the sound. The layout of the pads matches the chains you have on your song page, so the pads lit up white are rows with chains on them, and the pads that aren't lit up have no chains, and any chains that have phrases with no notes in them are lit up purple, like the one I have on track 8. If you press the jog wheel, it'll show the next 4 rows of the song. And you can press the plus and minus buttons to move the area of the song you have selected. So in this mode, you can mute tracks by pressing the M button, and then pressing one of the 8 lit up step buttons at the bottom, which correspond to the tracks. If you push the mute button again, the M will start blinking, which means the mute will only last as long as you have the track button held down. And the loop button lets you switch from mutes to solos. It also has the same behavior with the toggles and momentary solos. You can also activate live mode, which lets you launch specific chains by holding Shift and pressing left. So now when you select a pad for a chain, that chain will be queued to play and will start when the chain ends. And to exit live mode, you can hold Shift and press left again. Another fun performance effect is the beat repeat, which you can access by holding Shift and pressing back, and then clicking the jog wheel. Now you'll see a visual representation of the playhead, which is the green pad moving across the 16 steps of the phrase. And if you hold a pad down, when the playhead reaches that pad, it'll play the step repeatedly. And you can also select another pad to have it play multiple steps. Another handy tool for live performance is mapping knobs to send MIDI CCs to control parameters in your project. Each of the 8 knobs at the top of the move can be mapped. So for example, I can go to the mixer page and map the first knob on the move to control the DJ filter cutoff frequency by highlighting the parameter and then holding Option on the M8 and turning the knob on the move. And the top 8 knobs can have unique mappings, and you can press the step sequencer buttons between the tracks to load different banks of CC mappings, which basically function as different knobs. And the final live performance tool in this mode is a shortcut to load new projects. You can press the sampler button to bring up the project load screen, and from here you press the plus and minus buttons to move the M8 cursor up and down, and then you press shift to enter the folder or to select a project. If you select a project, it gets queued and will play when the next phrase ends. There's also some functions for editing songs in this mode. If you press record, you enter a session edit mode, which lets you use the copy button to copy chains, and the delete button to delete chains. And you can also copy and paste whole song rows with the track buttons on the left. So those are all the basic controls of using the Move to emulate the Launchpad Pro and control the Dirtywave M8. Overall, it's got a lot of great utility. There's some good workflow applications, and a lot of cool stuff you can do with live performances. And who knows, maybe someday Trash 80 will add support for different controllers, like the Move and other devices. Well, that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.